Hello, hello. How are you? Very welcome to our fourth Shoomzin with Rabbi Ari. I am really excited about this moment, this space that we have to share some ideas about the Jewish tradition, about the community, and to talk about everything. Let me tell you that really I am excited because this is not a simple space because as Aaron is saying, are many people watching this program. So really, I am very happy about that. And let me tell you something. I like many times to share with you some feelings that I have and some experiences. I am just returning from Buenos Aires. I was there for 3 weeks where I had the opportunity to celebrate the simcha of my niece bat mitzvah and also my mom's 75th birthday. But beside all of this simcha, I had the opportunity to be with the Jewish community there. That even I am Argentinian, as you know, and I grew up there, and I was there for 30 years of my life, my first 30 years. I had the opportunity to share with many different friends and rabbis, and to be at the huge community, the Jewish community there. Let me share with you one experience that I had that was very touched me a lot. That was what they call high mitzvah, the synagogue Dor Hadash, the Marx Nordau synagogue in the neighborhood of Villa Crespo in Buenos Aires, with the Rabbi Marcelo Bater. They celebrate a bar mitzvah for survivors of the Holocaust. Were 8 survivors of the Holocaust. The oldest was 100 years old, and they didn't have the opportunity to celebrate the bar mitzvah. And they did this ceremony and was so excited, and it touched me very deep on my soul. Why I am starting with that? Because this program, we will talk about Thanksgiving that is coming next week. And as I know, because I am not an American guy, or I can say that I am from South America, that is it's America, but I am not a guy who celebrated Thanksgiving on the past. Since I arrived here, we started with my family to be part of this culture here in America. But the point is, Thanksgiving, as I understand, is the day that we need to say thank you. And you know what? I am very thankful for have this opportunity to experience this activity, this high mitzvah, to feel that the survivors had the opportunity to live their bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah. And this is something that we need to say really thank you. So, my friends, let's start our program with the commercials. What do you say?
Yes, sir. We're going to start with a break because we have to adjust some cameras now that everybody is here, and I don't want to do that live.
Okay.
So, John, let's go to break, and then we come back. The rabbi will schmooze with his guests.
Perfect. Thank you. See you in.
I won't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh, yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous. I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Have you heard the news? WWDBTV Virginia Beach has arrived. WWDBTV will bring an exciting lineup of shows streaming from our very own Virginia Beach studio. Since we're an affiliate of WWDBTV Las Vegas, our show lineup will also be available on all of the WWDBTV social media channels. We're looking for new and current show hosts, content creators, and our advertisers who would like to take advantage of our vast audience. Las Vegas Entertainer Hall of Fame member Aaron "The Voice" Phillips is building this brand of marketing and promotional platform right here in Hampton Roads. For more information, email wvbtvinfo@gmail.com or call 702-286-0063. Think outside the box and let your voice be heard.
Okay, hello, we are back. So I am really, as I told you, excited for our fourth Shoomzin with Rabbi Ari. Let me tell you that, as I told you, we will talk about Thanksgiving. As I understand, Thanksgiving is not only about say thank you. It's time to watch football, to eat a lot, a turkey, and I realized that there are many places to buy a kosher turkey. And we have two guests that they are very, very close friends of mine. That is Cantor David Prosser and Pastor Todd Hultson. It's like that.
Close enough.
Yes.
I've been called worse.
Yes, and I am very excited to have they here because they are going to share with you, with us, what is Thanksgiving and how are you living Thanksgiving? And first of all, are you eating a lot on Thanksgiving?
Not as much as I used to.
my big question is, Thanksgiving is like Pesach, that we are eating.
It's the good thing about Thanksgiving, and it's almost an inside joke. It follows the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, of course,
great.
no eating in Kippur, all of the fall holidays, eating in the Sukkot. And come to Thanksgiving, you get to have a big meal with the family and don't have to go to shul for it.
Yes.
Not that some of us don't go through, twice a day anyway, but it's an eating holiday. It's a see family holiday. It's a see friends and have fun type holiday while still remembering the purpose.
Perfect. So let me introduce. He's a cantor, David Prosser. He's a cantor at Keilah Beit HaMidrash, Kempsville Conservative Synagogue, and since 2022, correct me if I am wrong, he became to lead the Hampton Rows of Rabbis and Cantors organization, and
Yes.
you are the president, right?
President, Board of Rabbis and Cantors of Hampton Roads.
Great. So
Was that board or was that board?
Depends
Are
on
you
how
a
the
board?
yeah,
board? Okay.
it depends on how the meeting is going. Yes.
depend on I totally agree with that. And also we have Todd Woodson, pastor at Real Life Church, Virginia Beach, and he says that he knows how to play tennis. We don't know about that. I need to test that.
I'm supposed to schmooze on the tennis court soon with Rabbi Ari here.
So thank you very, very much for being here. And I like to ask you, because you are a really important person and you are leaders at your communities. So how do you live, or can you explain to me that I am Argentinian? I don't know really. I know the story about Thanksgiving, but how are you living this holiday?
Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, so for us, it's about celebration. It's about giving God thanks. And then it's being thankful for all that's in our lives. So it really surrounds family and good friends. And of course, a lot of food, as we've already talked, and probably a nap afterwards. But
the dinner is late, or you are starting to celebrate at the morning, because if you take a nap,
Well, yeah. So you probably afternoonish it'll start. Sometimes people will gather and visit friends in different houses and go from house to house. Sometimes family is invited all to one house and people show up. But usually lunchtime into dinner. Usually you start at lunch and then you call it nosh. So, and then you just kind of snack along the whole day until nighttime and eat again. And
you know what this reminds me? The Argentinian asado. That means the barbecue. Because when you start the asado in Argentina, let me tell you, you start like 11 a.m. with some snacks, and then you put the meat on the grill, and then you start to cook, and then you eat you drink a little bit very good wine, and then you eat, and then came the coffee, the cake, and then like 4 or 5 p.m. Okay, it's time for the mate. Mate that is like a tea, but it's different. So the Argentina asado start like 11 a.m. and ends like 6, 7 p.m. So it's like that.
A little. I mean, for me, it really, although there's a lot of food, the highlight for me is being around good friends and family. Food is like the draw, right? It's the gathering. Everybody knows you're going to get something. People may bring a pie or another dish along and everybody shares, but it's really about just enjoying family, being together, being grateful and thankful for what God has blessed us with. And so it's a great time just to reconnect and slow down with the pace of the day and kind of refocus on really being thankful for everything good in our lives.
Right. And David, how is on our community, the Jewish community, how we celebrate that?
I would think the same way. We've been celebrating Thanksgiving with the same friends for probably, it's got to be over 40 years. Wow. 40, my older daughter, I'm trying to think the age of the kids and what kid is near what kid in age to get the numbers. It's probably about 47-ish or more years, less a few years when they were stationed in Italy. And the day would start, if not directly, with food, surrounded by food-related activities, because in the morning, the turkey is prepped, it's stuffed, it's put in the oven, so things are happening around the kitchen, and of course, there's always an ongoing breakfast or snacks or something while you're in the kitchen, and then waiting for the turkey to get done. And the dinner is really, I guess, I consider dinner to be something you have on holidays or a late afternoon. Otherwise, it's lunch and supper. So Thanksgiving dinner is a late afternoon. And I was reminded by my wife, how did we get to mid to late afternoon? It's whenever the kids woke up from their naps when they were little. Right. And that tradition has just stayed all these years. So with the rest of the community, for most people I know, it's about the same. I used to hear people say years ago, I don't have to do Thanksgiving because I'm thankful every day. But to my way of thinking, we do give thanks every day. Thanksgiving is part of our nature. Thanksgiving is built into our prayers. But to have a day specifically dedicated to it, there's nothing wrong with that. So the theme, again, is getting with friends. And not just being generally thankful, but thankful for the specifics. Thankful for having those friends. Thankful for living another year to have a Thanksgiving. Thankful that your kids have become friends and continues the tradition. So a lot of thanks that can be brought on once you trigger the theme of thanks. Let's think about it. Too often we don't think about it. Maybe we say thank you in rote. And I heard a rabbi last week talking about think of all the thanks behind the thanks. You may be in a store and you're thanking a cashier, but do you think about all the thanks behind it? Thank the person who stocked the shelves. Thank the companies who put the groceries on the trucks. Thank the truck drivers who brought it to the supermarket, the farmers who raised it, things like that. People that we'll never contact. But the thanks that we express to those we do, hopefully we'll have a payback or pay forward type effect that people know we're thankful for what they do.
Great. And that on Judaism, I will enter with the the information about what Judaism say about to give thanks. And we, as you are saying, we are saying thank you many times a day.
Yeah.
The beginning is every single morning when we are saying Modeh ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechesarta li nishmati v'chemla rabba emunatecha. That means thank you, God, for return to us our soul, and we have the opportunity to live another day. This is the first thing that we are doing every single morning, to say, hey, God, thank you. The second is every time that we are eating and we are doing the Birkat Hamazon, it's like we are saying thank you for the food that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when we are having something new to wear or something really that is very, very nice that is happening to us, we are saying the Shecheyanu. That is, in the same way, we are saying, hey, thank you for living this moment.
Yeah.
So it's really, really interesting. And there is something that is came to my mind, and I started to think about that when I prepared this podcast. Is a religious festivity, Thanksgiving?
Well, there's a piece of that. I mean, when you look at the history of that, and as the pilgrims came over and they gathered with the Native Americans and they celebrated harvest together and unity together. And so there's a piece of that. I was thinking, I continued a tradition when I was a kid, and I used to be very stressed about it because the family would gather around the table and everybody would say what they were thankful for. And so if you didn't go first, and somebody took what you were thankful for, you had to figure out, but and we continued that with our children, but we take so much for granted, don't we? Of really what we should be thankful for. So for us, it's even a moment to stop. And of course, as a believer, as a pastor, now it takes on a whole different meaning for me. Lord, there's so much I'm thankful for my family, for our congregation, for community, for good friends, and take it a minute and be able to share that and really thank. So it's not just about, for me, thanking the universe or thanking my family that's sitting next to me. It's about thanking God for all that he's done and all he continues to do. So from that aspect, absolutely, like there is this religious piece to this, that first and always we should thank God.
We used to do the same around the table, especially as the kids were growing up. We would put it in a book and keep that book year to year.
Nice.
I wish I knew where that book was today, because now with the kids, they're in all across the country and can't always get back. Well, they don't always get back for Thanksgiving. They're going to in-laws and they're going to family where they are. They get in at different times a year. But you had brought up a great point that one of our prayers of thanks is called Birkat Hamazon, and it's after we eat.
Yeah.
Every tradition, well, I'm not an authority, so I can't say every, but it seems to me that most traditions have, or most cultures have a tradition of saying thanks before we eat. And we do. It's a short prayer of thanksgiving. But afterwards, it's a longer prayer of thanksgiving. It's probably 8 paragraphs, give or take, if you counted out the pages. And it heeds back to one of my favorite verses in the Torah that says, when you enter the land and you've eaten your fill and you're satisfied, give thanks to the Lord who provided it all. And it's to remind us that when we need something or we want something, it's easy to praise God. It's easy to ask God. But when we're full and we're satisfied, we need to remember that God is the source of everything that came, that provided, what we're satisfied with.
That reminds me, the first time that we got together in our group, right, where we meet with pastors and rabbis, and I laughed about this afterwards. I talked with some of the people about it afterwards, but like we pray before the meal. Typically you pray after the meal. And so nobody wanted to offend the other person. We didn't know what to do. So nobody did anything. We just ate and had a good time together. But that reminded me. And then we went to lunch and you prayed after the meal for us. That was so beautiful that time.
And let me tell you my thought about that, because what did the noise on my head was, okay, if we are thanking to God, and America, we cannot say that it's a Jewish country, because we have Israel, but we are living here, and how we can celebrate Thanksgiving and to say some kind of religious celebration, we can introduce that to our tradition. And here is where I found something that is amazing, that Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, that he was a great halachic authority, he says, since the celebration of Thanksgiving contains no element of religious worship and is only a day established by the government for giving thanks for the good of the country, there is no prohibition for Jews to participate. So this is perfect. And he continues, however, it should not be established as a permanent religious festival, for it has no basis on our Torah, and it is forbidden to create new religious observances. So, in other words, Rabbi Feinstein says, hey, we can celebrate that because it's not religious. It's just to say to God, hey, thank you for everything that we have. So, and of course, there is a huge tradition around the table, around the food. When you talk about the turkey, came to me a question. Did you cook the turkey?
Most years I do, and I will this year again, but at a friend's house.
So I need the recipe for that, because I like to try, I don't know.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
If you don't want to burn your house down, you got to see to my house.
Okay.
We're going to talk about tryptophan in the turkey. That's what I want to know.
That's where you get the nap.
That's the nap from,
So,
yeah.
so I'm going to put this up behind you guys, so if you guys want to have a little fun about it. Do you know what tryptophan is?
No.
Okay, you guys can explain that.
Yeah.
It's the chemical in the turkey that makes you drowsy after you've had that big meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me something. You told us about what represent for you, Todd, a pastor, Thanksgiving, and for your congregation.
Yeah.
What represent for them?
Yeah, the
Or
same.
Another question
Yeah.
on the same. How your church are celebrating that? Because if I am talking about not Thanksgiving, about, for example, Passover or Rosh Hashanah, I can say, okay, we celebrate blah 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 blah, and we have a meal to share with the entire community.
Yeah.
And what's about it?
Yeah. So if you want to get Christians together, just have some food. And that's the best way to gather them.
I think
But-
it's the same in everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what's really cool is every year at this time, in fact, this coming Sunday, we'll do it. We transform the sanctuary. And so when you come in, it's not just rows of chairs in the sanctuary. We'll have round tables and linens, and everybody will sit, and we'll have our service and our worship. And then immediately after that, everybody enjoys this pre-Thanksgiving meal together as a congregation. And so there are always visitors and family that invite friends to come and just experience, kind of the fellowship and the love and the gratefulness together. And so it's a big deal. It's one of probably our biggest gatherings of the church, because people are not ashamed to bring people. They're like, come eat with us. And people are like, oh, I'll go eat. But so it's a great time of them to come together and to just talk and deepen our relationships together and catch up and find out what's going on in each other's lives. And then obviously, being grateful and thankful is the core around all of that. So our church does that collectively together at one time. And then on Thanksgiving Day, which would be a few days later, it's not uncommon for people to, especially if they're friends in the congregation, to visit each other's houses or maybe go somewhere that evening together and, walk, enjoy the lights or whatever is happening during the season. So for sure, yeah.
Perfect. And what is the meaning of the presents on this day? Because as I came to America, I realized that the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, and the people, if you are going out to shopping, it's impossible to buy anything because all the people are buying.
Look, I do that online now. I'm not
Yeah.
fighting,
Yeah.
I'm not fighting those crowds. I mean, it's, I don't know where that actually came up, but the Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, everybody's shopping for the holidays, and because you get the biggest sales and the deals supposedly on that day.
But it's a tradition to give some presents for the people who are coming to your house.
No,
or
not on
something like that.
Thanksgiving. No,
No.
it's just enjoying family around food that
It's
day.
like a commercial.
For the Christians, they're preparing for Christmas. They go out and buy cheap presents for the next day so that they can save money for the season.
Cyber Monday.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of.
With all the online deals, that Monday after Thanksgiving is called Cyber Monday for those like who doesn't go to the store.
I think it's like a
kickoff.
All it is is
strategy.
greed.
It's
All
a-
it is greed.
Yeah.
Well, it's a kickoff in the retail cycle.
Right.
And I was in retail for a number of years. And the morning after a holiday, you were expected in your store to have whatever decorations were up, no matter what holiday, to have those down the next morning so you could set up the displays and everything for the next holiday. So I think, I'm not an authority on this, but I think the Black Friday started in the same vein. As soon as one holiday is over, get those decorations out, get the next stuff up, and start selling for the next holiday. And that may have been how the Friday after Thanksgiving became, what it is today. But again, I'm just speculating on that.
Perfect. And tell me, remember that I am Argentinian.
Okay.
Remember that I am coming from a different kind of Jewish community.
Sure.
How the Jewish community celebrate Thanksgiving? What are our traditions?
The same as most Americans, I think. I hope with a kosher turkey. But I would say the same as the rest of the community, because it is a country, a national-based holiday rather than a Torah-commanded holiday. So I don't know of anything specific other than our usual giving thanks before and after a meal. Otherwise, it's eat turkey, watch football, watch the National Dog Show, and
And I think the majority of the country participates because it's not specific to any sect or religion or what, it's more of a cultural appreciation thing. And of course, Meeble is gathering around, like you say, football and gathering around food. So there are some common similarities that most people
you know
like.
that I have a really huge conflict when we are talking about football, because football for me is another thing.
Right,
Different,
soccer, right?
No, you are saying football when you are playing with your hands.
Yeah.
American football.
Right.
This is very, very nice. So here is where came to me something that is very interesting. That is, it doesn't matter if we are Christians, Jews, Muslims, or whatever other religion. The point is, we are thankful for the things that we can call God, Adonai, Jesus, Allah, or Buddha. But the point is, we are thanking to this God, the God that we are believing on. So, and this is perfect. This is perfect because we are realizing that it's not only about to be selfish, like thinking that we can do everything and we have the power to do everything that we like on the life. And we need to say, hey, you know what? Thank you for the things that we are having. And this is something that I don't know if you know, the reason why we are wearing kippah. Because when we are wearing the kippah, we are saying, hey, we have a limit. So from here, we cannot do what we like. Here, we can do the things, but we need to recognize that someone or something else is coordinating us, is guiding us. So this is very, 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 very nice. So I like to ask you, before going to the commercials, tell me about a moment in your life when gratitude changed you.
Did you study for the test?
I did not.
Gratitude changed us.
Because until here were very easy questions.
Yeah.
So,
You want me to go?
Go ahead.
So I don't know how heavy you want to go, but I've had multiple times in my life. I remember one where I was really just lost. I was in a really bad place. It was I was looking towards a divorce in my family, and I was contemplating suicide at that point. And I was really grateful that the gun did not go off. And that was a moment that changed everything for me, where not just was I thankful afterwards, because I had 2 small children then, that I would still have life, but my children would have a father now. And that was the catalyst. That was the moment for me where I was like, okay, God, you must be real, because that shouldn't have happened. And so for me, not to get too weighty and bring it down, that was really a moment that changed everything in my life, where I began to chase God and changed my family, my lineage, my legacy, everything in an instant. I'm very grateful that that God had his eyes on me and was graceful.
I think, and I kind of have to equate it to those times in life where you hear about the feelings coming, but you don't really know until you feel them, such as when you see your children born, when you land in Israel for the first time, things like that.
You spoke before with him now, because I like to say that.
The table goes this way. Got to pick something else. But also another that you might not equate, we have a Yizkor prayer, meaning remembrance 4 times a year on our 3 pilgrimage holidays and on Yom Kippur, where we remember those that came before us. And every time I think about my parents, I'm just thankful for the upbringing they gave me that included, my Jewish upbringing and attending synagogue, and the importance of the wider family that they connected me to. So the thoughts of Thanksgiving come at times even when you don't expect might be the usual time, but there's all sorts of times when we are thankful and maybe don't even realize it.
For me, first the first moment that I am really grateful for and changed my mind totally, and I understood that we cannot do everything, was exactly when my daughter was born. At this moment, when I realized that she went out from Patches Valley and say, hey, who did that?
Right. This is a miracle, yeah.
This is really a miracle, and at this moment we say really, really thank you for this opportunity. And there is another, on the contrast, on the other hand, totally on the other hand, sometimes happened to me that, and I was so impressed, that some people were very, very sick, and the family asked me to pray with these people to make them to rest, to be really quiet, and to let them go. And happened to be when I was in Brazil, I was a rabbi in Brazil for 14 years, if you don't know. I had one opportunity when I went to visit someone who was really very, very sick. I prayed with the family and I returned home. And 40 minutes after, I received a call from the hospital saying that this person passed. So again,
I've had that many times.
And you say, hey, thank you for the opportunity to help others.
Sure.
And this is really, really amazing. So, my friends, let's go for a little bit break, and we'll be back in seconds.
Hey, honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch a game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop! I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. You know, I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest, dear.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life.
I won't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous. I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need, from medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Hello, we are back. And now let's change a little bit the way of our conversation because, okay, we are thankful for many different things. And I remember once in Rosh Hashanah, my sermon, I spoke about 3 words that are very, very difficult to the people to say. That is, excuse me, pardon, and thank you. That is really, really interesting because it's easy. Excuse me, or sorry for that, or thank you very much for what you gave me, what you did for me. What do you think about that? Why is it so difficult for many people, or to us in general, to say thank you?
I think you want me to go. So I'm similar. I think some of the hardest words in the English language are "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I was wrong." It's very similar. To that. And I think at the core of it is pride. Pride. It's just for some reason our flesh gets in the way, and we don't yield. To this softness, the loving heart of God for that peace. And
but you're going not to be pride if you are saying thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think thank you is that hard. I don't think excuse me is that hard, depending on the how you're using it. The I'm sorry, I was wrong, please forgive me, meaning, putting it all on me that I did something wrong or I embarrassed you or something like that, as opposed to I'm sorry you took it that way, where you're trying to put it back on somebody else. But the true I'm sorry, it was my fault. Please forgive me. That's of the 3, I think the hardest. I don't think there's a problem or anything hard about thank you, but
and I was raised, I don't know about you guys, with manners and that was drilled into me as a kid. Say thank you, hold the door, say please, say excuse me.
Yes,
like those are
yes sir, yes ma'am.
Yeah, like those were like cultural norms for us.
And today it's really difficult, right?
I'm not sure that parents are sharing the same
exactly.
details with their
when
children.
When you're seeing the teenagers, I am not against the teenagers. They are far away from me when I was the same age because they are faster.
Well, we were playing in the mud. They're writing computer programs. They're
planning to get cars. We were looking forward to new dinosaurs.
I heard that a kid today with 10 years old have more information on his brain than Napoleon when he led the wars. But here's really it's very, very interesting because to say thank you, it's fundamental because you are recognizing who you are and who are the others and who you have around you. So it's very important. Let me ask you a question. Would you consider yourself grateful people?
I do, yeah.
What are the things you personally give thanks for?
And it may just be because I'm getting older and more aware of who's doing what around me, but I'm thankful when, someone brings me service to the table in a restaurant, or when we're staying in a hotel for a bit because we had some damage on the house. And I always make sure I thank the lady who puts out the breakfast and who cleans the room, and people who are, doing things so I don't have to. And so I go out of my way to say thank you. And I think it's just, I'm doing that as much as I can in stores and anyone who helps. A random nice word can make someone's day. So I hope I'm doing that for them.
Yeah. I think as I've grown older, I'll be 58 this week.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. That's shifted for me. When I was younger, it was simpler things. Thank you for my new skateboard. Thank you. I'm grateful for drums or whatever it was. Now it's like the weighty, the really heavy, important things in life. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful that I have a wife who supports and loves and cares for me. I'm grateful for my God, and that he sees me, and that he cared for me, and that he embraced me as his own son. I'm like those bigger things in life. I think that so many times we just take for granted. Oh, my wife is there, she'll always be there. Not necessarily. If I don't put the work in and I don't treat her right, it might not be that way. And so I'm just grateful for those. Grateful for my children, and that they have health, and that they have purpose in their life, and that they know the Lord. I'm grateful for those things. The things you can't buy. There's no amount of money that can buy those things.
Are some things that you cannot buy.
Yeah.
Really, you cannot buy. I am, as you are saying, I am really very thankful for my family, the support that I receive every time, to wake up every single morning with my wife on my side, to hear, "Oi, bon dia." This is really, really amazing. And to see the kids, and they told me, "Daddy, I like the milk." Yes, of course. And this is really, really nice. And I told Pachi, my wife, many times, saying, why I am not going to hanging up there on my arms, because Leah is almost 8 and Ben is 5.5. How long they are going to ask me?
Right.
Hey, that's
Right. Yeah.
in some years they are going to say, "No, go."
Yeah.
So really, I am really thankful for the family and the opportunity to share with them the life and to enjoy the life. This is a really, really amazing. So almost for the end, let's play a game. The gratitude lightning round. So I am going to say a sentence, and you have 10 seconds to say a quick thought that came to your mind. So let's start.
Well, David looked at me. I guess
Okay.
I don't know.
So
I think
go. Something profound you are grateful for. Profound, very deep.
Wow. My salvation as a Christian. Grateful for my salvation, that the Lord adopted me, embraced me, and saved me, for sure.
And you?
I think I got time to think about it. I think that my family has passed on my values. Both of my daughters and their families are active in their synagogue. The grandchildren are in day school and or Sunday school.
Thank you, Lord.
We're looking forward to a bat mitzvah in a year and a half, something like that. My older granddaughter, and I hope I'm not interrupting the game, but it leads back to a discussion in the Torah readings we're reading last week and this week. We're talking about the second of the patriarchs, Isaac. And when you look at all that Abraham did and all that Jacob did, Sometimes you look at Isaac and think, well, he was the Nebush.
Yeah.
Everything happened to him. He didn't do anything. But what he did is he made sure that the tradition was passed
Oh, that's
on.
good.
And so
That's
he
good.
did have a very important role to make sure that with everything else that happened to him rather than he did, he made sure that the selection that his wife kind of pushed him on
So good.
was done so that Jacob could succeed with the traditions of Abraham and monotheism.
The teacher just came out and that was so
Amen,
good.
amen.
Yeah.
I get that from my wife. Never pass up a teaching moment.
That's good.
Yeah.
So now it's for you first.
Okay.
Something ridiculous you are grateful for.
Something ridiculous on all those stupid podcasts, not this one, and TikTok that I would not want to have anyone know that I'm watching. There used to be a term for that. It was guilty pleasures.
It's a podcast.
That's an easy question.
All the things online that like going down the rabbit hole. I'm just going to check on this, and before you know it, you're on your phone for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Great. Don't
Double stuff Oreos. Oreo cookie, double stuffs, or the mega stuff. The mega stuff. That's the one.
Wow.
Now my stomach is not grateful for that.
Oh well.
So tell me, a food you refuse to eat on Thanksgiving.
Well, anything seafood, which is crazy. I was born in Virginia Beach. I eat no seafood. I don't like the taste of seafood. Bad experience as a
You're
kid.
a kosher guy.
Yeah, apparently. So yeah. So yeah, just that's always for me.
And you?
I would say anything that's not part of the traditional things we've always had. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, squash. Got to have something green just to say you do it. So it's peas because they mix with the mashed potatoes, turkey. I don't like anything new, to come in with, it's not part of our traditions. So I can't say there's something I would refuse to eat, but I would prefer to stay with all the regular stuff. First of all, it's easier to cook that way if you know what's coming on. But I would say if I had to refuse something, it would be if somebody brought Brussels sprouts.
Oh, I'll refuse that with you.
Okay. So the last question: a moment in your job when you secretly wished you could say no comment.
You said on the job?
Yes.
That's where you come up. That's a good thing.
What he says to think about it, I would say rather than no comment, embarrassment about something you've said that, everyone wants to be Seinfeld, but sometimes the things we say, they just come out and, plunk right on the floor. They, come out like what do you say, like a screen door in a submarine or things like that.
Wow. What comes to mind instantly probably is people that start to go one way or the other with politics, and trying to just stay very biblical in our answer and approach. Yeah, for sure.
Great. So before to end this podcast, that first I'd like to thank you really to both of you. That was amazing, our conversation. If you have the camera now, and as Aaron is saying, many people are watching to us. So what do you like to say to the people about Thanksgiving, about to say thank you, about a message for the next year?
I would just say try and take the message forward and express it, realize what we're thankful for, but also express it. Don't be afraid to say thank you. Even if someone does something that you expect for you, like a person in the service industry, pass on the thank yous and just try and make someone else's day.
Yeah. So I would say, God's given you a gift of life and time. That's the most valuable and most expensive thing. Once time has passed, you can't get it back. Use every moment to find your purpose and your destiny, and then do it.
Perfect. So really thank you. Thank you for being here. And my friends, I have, as always, a story to tell you that a rabbi tells the story of an elderly man in a community who volunteered every morning to help sort the mail at the local hospital. Every day, he saw hundreds of messages, bills, bad news, worries, requests. But once a year, around Thanksgiving, something different happened. He would find 2 small envelopes with no return address. Inside each one, there was only one sentence: "Thank you for being there when I needed you." No signature, no explanation, just gratitude. One day, a nurse asked him, "Do you know who sends those?" He smiled and he answered, "I have no idea who receives the letter, and they have no idea who sends it. But that is the beauty. Gratitude doesn't always need a name. It just needs a heart." Thanksgiving reminds us that gratitude doesn't require protection, explanations, or even knowing who deserves the thanks. Sometimes the purest form of gratitude is simply acknowledging, "I did not get here alone." In Judaism, we say akarat atov, recognizing the good. In Christianity, they say give thanks, but the meaning is the same. To be grateful is to open the soul, to acknowledge the invisible kindness that carried us forward, to recognize the hands that lifted us, often quietly, sometimes anonymously. And when we practice gratitude together across traditions and communities, the world becomes softer, kinder, and more whole. Thank you both for your wisdom, your friendship, and your voices. Thanksgiving doesn't belong to one religion, as I told you. It belongs to the human soul. May we keep finding reasons to be grateful, and may our gratitude bring light to others. I hope you will have an amazing Thanksgiving. Don't forget to be with us next show, that it will be December 10th, 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube, Shoomzin with Rabbi Ari. Really, really thank you, because it was amazing to have you here. And thank you to be there and to watch and to hear all our thoughts. And my friends, thank you. Aaron,
Would you like to give your guests a token of your appreciation?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So, and also I'd like to thank Aaron for look the merchandising that we have. I am really, really happy with that. So thank you. And John, also thank you on Vegas. Thank you very, very, very much for being with us. And my friends, I hope that you enjoy as I enjoyed.
Yeah. So much.
And see you in 1 month.
December
now,
10th.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.